Any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomforts. Arnold Bennet. Welcome to the Stitched for Success podcast, where we are teaching business and life lessons that will help you launch, grow, or scale your creative business. I am Monica Allen, and I'm a wife, mom, daughter, entrepreneur, author, friend, lifelong learner, and host of this podcast. For over 8 years, I was stuck in corporate and dreamt of escaping. Creating a side hustle with just $700 and having taken the leap over 15 years ago, we have since grown multiple six-figure and seven-figure brands. Being an entrepreneur for over 18 years has afforded me many successes and a few failures. I want to share those with you so you can grow and be successful in your business. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Become Your Own Boss Planner. If you want to set goals around all of the important areas of your life and actually get them done, this is the planner for you. It is an undated planner that you can get started on at any point in the year. You can get yours at becomeyourownboss.school. Again, that's becomeyourownboss.school. Let's crush these goals in 2022. I am recording this episode of the Stitched for Success podcast at the Borealis Basecamp in Fairbanks, Alaska. We are here hoping to catch a glimpse of the Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights. This is completely outside of my comfort zone. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, also known as Hotlanta, so this level of cold is something I have never experienced. We are staying in these really cool igloos where the ceiling is partially glass. I'll let you know if we catch a glimpse of the lights. I'm so proud to announce that I have been doing this podcast now for almost 2 years. 2 whole years. The 2-year anniversary is officially in April, and I'm very excited because I'm also getting quite close to 100 episodes. Like many of you who listen to this podcast, I am very ambitious. Anything that I touch or work on, ideally I want it to be the best that it can be and have a massive impact. I am proud to say that the podcast has been steadily growing, but in full disclosure, the podcast is not where I want it to be yet. I want it to reach more people, change lives, and serve others in their journeys, which ultimately means we need to grow the podcast's downloads and improve its global ranking, which I just found out I can look at on a website called Listen Notes. Thanks so much to another podcast, Podcast Coaching with Christine, for sharing such valuable info. Due to the impact I want the podcast to make and the growth I want it to have, I will be making some upcoming changes to the podcast. They are changes I'm very excited about, and though I cannot get into all of the details right now, I think in the long run, these changes will add even more value to your entrepreneurial journey and help you continue to be successful in your new or well-established businesses. Like the quote I read at the top of the episode, any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomfort. I can't say that I'm 100% comfortable with this change because change can be scary. But it's not the first time I've had to change or pivot in a business or in life, and I'm certain it won't be the last. One thing I can promise is that I'm committed to helping you launch, grow, and sustain your business by continuing to bring you valuable interviews and content. Things that can help you in your business, from insurance to social media, from accounting to web design and optimization, from email marketing to funding, and so much more. There's nothing too big or too small. If there's a topic you would like me to cover or something you're struggling with in your business, please DM me on Instagram or email me at stitchedforsuccess@gmail.com. Just drop me a note, let me know what's going on, and I'd be more than happy to find some information on the topic or an expert who can come speak about it on the podcast. After all, if you have the struggle or want more information on a topic, I guarantee you someone else has a similar issue, so you will be helping your fellow business owner out. I know there are many books and podcasts that have helped me along the way, and I'm now determined after 20 years of being an entrepreneur to help others. We will kick off season 4 on February 11th, and I have some excellent interviews coming your way. I will continue to post inspiration and business tips on Instagram, so if you are not already following me, just follow at Stitched for Success. If you want to help continue the growth of the podcast, send a link of the podcast to another business owner or share it in your entrepreneurial groups and or on your social media channels. If you are a business owner and not a part of an entrepreneurial group or tribe to help support you, please DM me on Instagram and let me know. I want to be a part of your tribe because none of us should be going at this alone. As a matter of fact, I'm on this trip right now with over 20 other entrepreneurs. And whenever I'm around other entrepreneurs, I always pick up some nugget of knowledge or insight. As a matter of fact, just one conversation with someone within the first hour with this group has provided me with a contact that I need for an upcoming project. That is the advantage of being a part of a tribe or group that is walking on a similar path. I recently had someone come in the store, and he's an entrepreneur. He has a very successful business in finance, and I could tell just during our conversation that things were going a little rough right now. And I asked him, I said, well, who are your entrepreneurial friends? Who do you surround yourself with that's in a similar situation as you, who's having to meet payroll, motivate a team? The list goes on. And he said, no one. And I said, you've got to find your tribe. You've got to find a group. You need someone to help support you. And that is so key to being an entrepreneur. You could be a solopreneur. And if you're a solopreneur, you need it more than anything because you don't have anyone to run any ideas by. You don't even have team members or additional management. You don't have anyone. So it's very, very important that you find a tribe. I will now get off my soapbox when it comes to that topic. Find your tribe, though. And lastly, I wanted to let you all know that I picked my one word for the year. I'm not sure if you all do this, and I can't recall if I talked about it at the beginning of last year, but every year for like the past 5 years, I have picked a word. One year it was bold. Last year it was clarity. This year I have more of a phrase, and the phrase is level up consistently. And with that phrase, and with everything I do, I'm asking myself, am I leveling up? And am I doing it consistently in everything that I do? This is one of the reasons I want to make some changes to the podcast, because I don't think that I have been leveling up consistently in that area. But I'm evaluating every area when it comes to my physical fitness, when it comes to my reading. Am I leveling up consistently? And so that's my phrase for the year. If you have a word for the year or a phrase for the year, please share it with me. I'd love to know more about it. I can't wait to bring you more information in the very near future about the changes coming to the podcast. Be sure to tune in. Thank you for listening. As always, I'm grateful for you. Now is the time to show up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss. Lastly, if you have not already, take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. So glad you joined me today. Have a great one.